Well, hi again, everyone. This is Tim from Cleveland Baseball Fan 879, and this is game number 21 of the 1972 Roberto Clemente Race to 3,000 Hits replay. I don't want to know how he's doing. He needs 86 hits in 79 more games after this and 330 plate appearances. And tonight's pitching matchup is Bob Moose for the Pirates and Ken Forsch for the Astros. There will be no ballpark effects roll because we are indoors. Ballpark singles once again 1-13 for lefties, 1-16 for righties. Homers in the not so homer dome, lefties 1-6 and righties 1-3. All right, lineups are about the same, so we'll just when batters come up where they get balls hit to them, we'll just say who they are. All right, leading off is second baseman Dave Cash. And that ball is driven to deep left field. Going back on it is Watson. And that's going to be in off the wall and into second with the leadoff double is Dave Cash. That's a 1-3 home run chance. The 20 means he can only go to second. So leadoff double for Cash. And here's Oliver. Al Oliver, the center fielder. Nothing on the 18. Here's the pitch to Oliver. And a 2-10. That's a base hit, but only going to third is Cash. And runners on the corners with nobody out. And they'll play the infield back. And here's Roberto Clemente. Nothing on the 16. Here's the pitch to Clemente. And that's a ground ball to first. And we will not play injuries. Not doing that. Scoring from third is Cash. Going to second is Oliver. RBI, but no hit. And the Pirates take a 1-0 lead. Here's Willie Stargell. And it's a blocker pass ball chance on the 2. And pass ball chance for Edwards. He is a 2. And nothing on the 5. Good stop by Edwards. And here's Forsch. And our first X chance of the game goes to the shortstop, Roger Metzger. He is a 2. And an 11. We did not say we were holding on Oliver, so he will stay a 2. 2 and an 11 is, it's actually G1. He is an E22. 22 and a 6. And there is a 6, so he bobbles it, and everybody is safe. So going to third is Oliver, and Stargell reaches. They will not hold on any runners. Here's Richie Hebner. Nothing on the 15. All right, here is Hebner. 3 and an 8, and that ball's hit to center field, falls for a base hit. Scoring from third is Oliver. Hitting second, going to third is Stargell. 2-0 Pirates as they are jumping on Forsch. Runners remain on the corners with one out. Excuse me. Wow. We will play the infield back. Nothing on the 17. Here's Sanguian. And that's just a bit high, ball 4. So the bases are loaded for Bob Robertson, the first baseman. Havoc roll. Nothing on the 19. Here's Robertson. And that's just what the doctor ordered if you are an Astros fan. Ground ball to third. That's Doug Rader to Tommy Helms to Jimmy Stewart playing first base tonight. Inning-ending double play. The Pirates do get 2 and lead 2-0 after a half inning. All right. And leading off is Roger Metzger facing Bob Moose. Right-handed pitcher facing the switch hitter Metzger. Here's the pitch to Metzger. And that's a ground ball to first, and first baseman Robertson takes it to the base himself, 1 away. And here's Jimmy Stewart. It's Wonderful Life, Wonderful Life. Playing first base tonight, Lee May getting the night off. And he rips one down the third base line, excuse me. And into second with a double is Stewart. Here's Jimmy Wynn, the toy cannon. Nothing on the 12. And it's just a bit outside, ball 4. So, first walk of the game for Moose. Here's Cesar Cedeno. Nothing on the 17. Not the right column you want for Cedeno. Ground ball to shortstop. Gene Alley to Dave Cash to Bob Robertson. Inning-ending double play. So the Astros are retired. Here in the bottom of the first, we go to the top of the second. Pirates lead 2-0, and here's Gene Alley to face Ken Forsch. Of course, Ken's brother Bob would also be a pitcher in the major leagues for some time. Do not know when he got his start. Maybe I'll find out when I play my 1985 set when he is playing. I believe he's still around 85. I'll have to check. All right, here's Gene Alley. I'll get back to the game here. And that is a 1-8 single chance. And that's a 1, so leadoff single for Alley. Forsch is a +3. Edwards is a +4, so we may have to hold all runners because I'm tempted to send him. If you hold him on, it's +2. And to be 1-15, I'd be willing to take a shot at that. 2-5 or 2-5, he gets the lead. 12, he gets picked off. Oh, there is a balk chance. And there is no balk. So, cannot get a lead. They will... I say they will hold him on. And they are going to bring the corners in expecting a bunt. Moose is an A bunter, so he will now be a B bunter. Havoc roll. Nothing on the 16. All right, here's the pitch from Forsch to Moose. He squares around. That one will go back to the pitcher. If I'm not mistaken. Yes, it will. All right, B, and oh boy, an 11. And it goes foul, and we'll try it again. That's a little bit better. 4 goes to the first baseman. And 7 is a good sacrifice. So that will go to the first baseman. We'll just say he tags out Moose himself. Oops. So we'll say that's a 3 unassisted. Going to second is Allie. And back to the top of the order, Dave Cash doubled and scored his first time up. Nothing on the 6. And swung on and missed, struck him out. Cash down on strikes for the first time. First strikeout for Forsch. That's kind of the big one. Here's Al Oliver, singled his last time up. Nothing on the 20. And that's a ground ball to short, and that will retire the side. Pirates get nothing in the top of the second. We go to the bottom half. 2-0 Pirates. And here is Bob Watson, followed by Johnny Edwards and Doug Rader. Right. And here is Bob Watson. One to 11 single chance. And just sneaks past the second baseman for a base hit. Moose is a 0. Sanguine's a -2. So we will not hold him. Will not hold him on. Here's Johnny Edwards. Runner on first. Nobody out. Nothing on the 18. Here's Edwards. 6 and a 2. And as a lefty, he has normal power against right-handed pitching. So this is a 1 to 6 home run chance. And no, that is a fly out to right field. And racing back is Watson, 1 away. And here's Doug Rader. 1 to 5, and this is a wild pitch. And nice stop by Sanguine. Here's Doug Rader. And that's a third base chance for Richie Hebner. He is a 3. 3 and a 1. That's going to get that. They don't do doubles on the X chances, so that will skip off of them and go into the outfield. I probably shouldn't attempt to throw. Let's see. Hebner 12 and a 13. There is a 12 on a 12, but no 13. So that will get by him. Advancing to third is Watson. Runners on the corners with 1 out for Tommy Helms. I believe one-time Cincinnati Red. And we will not do that. We'll count that. That's a 4. It had a little help to get through. All right, here's Tommy Helms. Chance to get the Astros on the board. 3 and an 8. Ground ball back to the mound. Moose to second for 1. They will not get the return throw to get Helms. Scoring from third is Watson. And the Astros cut the deficit in half. It's 2 to 1. That is the second out of the inning. Scoring from third. And replacing him at first is Helms. They will not hold him on. And here's Forsch using pitcher hitting card number 2, right-handed batter. Nothing on the 20. And that's a ground ball to the shortstop, Gene Alley, who retires Forsch. And that will retire the side. But the Astros cut into the Pirates' lead. It's 2 to 1. And here's Roberto Clemente to lead off the top of the third. He grounded out his first time, but got an RBI. And here's the pitch to Roberto Clemente. 2 and a 7 field goal roll. That's a ground ball to short, and that will retire Clemente again. He's now 0 for 2 on the day. There's Willie Stargell. Reached on an error his last time up. 4 and an 8 against the lefty. Struck him out. So second strikeout for Forsch as he's settling down here after a rocky first inning. Here's Richie Hebner. Played for some other teams other than the Pirates. We've also played for the Philadelphia Phillies. And that's a line drive right to the second baseman. That's Tommy Helms. 1-2-3 inning for the Pirates. And we go to the bottom of the third. Pirates 2, Astros 1. And top of the order due up for the Astros, Metzger, Stewart, and Wynn. And there's Roger Metzger. 3 and a 7. That's into center field. And Metzger has his first hit of the day. And -2, -4. You know, they're going to try to get a jump with Metzger. 4 to 6. And that's a 9. He will not get the jump, but he will be held on. Here's Jimmy Stewart. Havoc roll. Nothing on the 5. And it's a ground ball to second. They get Metzger at second. But Stewart will replace Metzger at first, and he will not be held on. That brings up Jimmy Wynn. Walked his first time up. And 1 to 5. This is a wild pitch. Not on the 10. And here's the pitch to Jimmy Wynn. And he walks again, so he'll have a scorecard with no at-bats right now, but 2 walks. And first and second with 1 out here in the bottom of the third for Cesar Cedeno. Nothing on the 16. Oops. Yeah, we'll try that one more time here. And he'll rip this one in the gap. This game will be tied. Will it be tied, or will it be the Astros taking the lead? It will be a tie game because the nicely cut off. A 1 would have been a triple, but Cedeno rips it. Scoring from second is Stewart. The third goes Wynn. And the game is tied at 2. And with 1 out, Watson, I believe we're going to play the infield in. Yes, we will bring the infield in. Havoc roll. Nothing on the 3. Here's Watson. One to 11 single chance. Oh, nice diving stop by Cash. Shows the umpire the ball, and everybody gets back. Huge play by Cash as the Astros are hurt by the devil die. And havoc roll for Edwards. Nothing there. 2 outs infield back to normal. And here's a pitch to Edwards. Ground ball to first. Roberts steps on the bag, and that retires the side. But the Astros tie the game at 2, going to the top of the 4th. And Sanguian, Robertson, and Alley here in the top of the fourth. Here's Sanguian. 5 and a 9. That's a tapper to short. And Metzger retires Sanguian 1 away. And here's Bob Robertson, grounded into a double play his first time up. Three and a 5. Struck him out. Third strikeout for Forsch. He had 113 on the season. 2 up and 2 down. Here's Gene Alley. Singled his last time up. 5 and a 2. And he strikes out. So Forsch finding his mojo here after the first inning. And bottom third of the order due up for the Astros to face Bob Moose, Rader, Helms, and Forsch. And here is Doug Rader. Four and a 7. Once again, that 1 to 11 single chance. Not on the 15, so line drive to second. And Rader is 1 for 2 on the day. And here's Tommy Helms. Reached on a fielder's choice. 1 and a 5. And that's a single into center field. And the Reds will be looking for a bunt. Forsch is also an A bunter, so we will have Forsch lay down a bunt. Havoc roll. Nothing on the 4. Back to the mound. And a 4 on a B bunter. Is that speed? Yes, it is. Forsch does not get any speed boost, but 1 to 10 and he will beat it out. No, he does not, but great bunt by Forsch. And moving to second is Helms. And it'll be Roger Metzger, third time up, singled his last time up. Havoc roll. Nothing on the 16. Here's Metzger. And that's against a lefty batter. That's a ground ball to short, and that will retire the side. We go to the top of the 5th. Pirates 2, Astros 2. Moose will lead off the top of the 5th, followed by Cash and Oliver. And this is batter number 18 for Forsch in inning number 5. So that's not too bad. Batter number 18, yeah. And that's a ground ball to short. And Metzger, shortstop Metzger will retire Moose 1 away. Here's Dave Cash. And that's a fly ball to center field. It's a tough. Cedeno, he's a 1, so he'll get to it. E8 for Cedeno. I don't believe there is an 8 on an E8. Center field. No. And Cedeno will put it away, 2 down for Al Oliver. Sorry, not Bob Oliver. Al Oliver. And that's popped up into foul territory. Edwards throws off the mask, and that will retire the side. We go to the bottom of the fifth, tied at 2. Moose will face Stewart, Wynn, and Cedeno. All right, and here's Stewart. And that's a ground ball to second, and Cash will retire Stewart 1 away. Stewart is 1 for 3 now. Here's Jimmy Wynn. No appearances because he's walked twice. And ballpark single chance. Righty is 1 to 16. And Wynn is on base for the 3rd time today with it, but this time with his first hit. And they will try to get a lead with Wynn. On a 7, he gets a lead. He'd be 1 to 12 if he does. And that's a 9, nothing on the 5. So they will hold him on. Here's Cesar Cedeno. Cedeno singled his last time up, drove in the tying run. And nothing on the 17. Here's Cedeno. The thing is, I never thought of Wynn as much of a steal guy, but he stole 17 out of 24 in 72. Six and an 8, and that's gonna, I think that's the same roll Cedeno had last time. And that will get down. Going to 3rd is Wynn. And the Pirates will definitely bring the infield in for Bob Watson. Nothing on the 13. And that's going to be trouble. 1 to 13 is a double. And that will get by everybody to the wall. Going from 3rd to home is Wynn. The 3rd is Cedeno. 3 to 2 Astros. And we will keep the infield in for Johnny Edwards. Nothing on the 16. Here's the pitch to Edwards. And that's a fly ball to center field. And that's sort of the chance you want to take. Okay, so that's a question mark. So Cedeno runs at a 17. You give him 2 more, makes him a 19. And then no arm for Oliver. I'm going to take a quick timeout and read the rules to see if I actually have to throw home because I don't want that runner to advance to 3rd timeout. All right, in the super advanced rules, and I'll start using this for any fly ball be question mark. It's you can throw home, but the runner can advance. Actually, no. If you throw home, the offensive manager must allow whether the trail runner can attempt to advance. Let's see here. So the trail runner is Watson. So he's 10. If the defense throws home, the trail runner to advance. 10 minus 5, and then 0. Okay. Attempts to advance on hits. Okay. All right. So they will throw home. They will not try to throw. The trail runner will stay put. 1 to 19. And he's just in ahead of the tag. So 2 runs here in the bottom of the 5th. 2 down. Runner at 2nd for Doug Rader. Havoc roll. Nothing on the 11. 2 and a 9. Struck him out, and that will retire the side, but not before the Astros take a 4-2 lead. All right, and Clemente, Stargell, and Hebner, part of the Pirates order, due up here in the top of the 6th. This is Forsh's point of weakness. And he is due up 2nd in the bottom of the 6th. Here's Clemente. 3 and a 9. Ground ball to short. And Clemente is 0 for 3. Spoiler alert, if you do not want to know what happened in Game 20, skip ahead for a couple seconds. If you've already seen the video, thank you. Clemente went 0 for 4 in that game, and he's 0-4, and I don't think I've had 2 games in a row where he has not gotten a hit. So, we'll see. Here's Willie Stargell. 0 for 2, reached on an error. And struck him out. Here's Richie Hebner. 3 and a 5. 1 to 8 single chance. And not on the 16. Line drive caught by Helms. Oh boy, you got a decision to make here if you're a manager. Forsh has retired the last 15 in a row. Yeah, they're going to leave him out. This is 1972 baseball, not 2026 baseball. So, they're going to let Moose try to pitch through the 6th. He is due up 4th in the next inning, and we may pull a double switch if need be. All right, here is Tommy Helms. Helms is 1 for 2, single and a fielder's choice. Reached on a fielder's choice. And that's a tapper back to the mound. 1 away. Here is Forsh getting a nice hand from the Astrodome faithful. And Forsh is going to hit one to the gap. Will this one be cut off or not? Moose has been burned by that 6-8 roll. And Forsh has a single, and this could be something not good here, giving up a hit to the pitcher. Havoc roll not being held on. Nothing on the 6. Two and a 7. Fly ball to center field. And that's 2 away. And here's Jimmy Stewart. Havoc roll. Nothing on the 17. And that's a line drive caught by the first baseman Robertson. And that will retire the side. And to the top of the 7th we go. Sanguillen, Robertson, and Alley. Forsh will stay out for the 7th, although we do have bullpen action. If a lefty comes up, they need somebody. It's Wade Blassingame. And Tom Griffin, the right-hander. So you got double barrel action going there. Here's Manny Sanguillen. 0 for 1 with a walk. And that's a bouncer to third. And it is now 16 in a row retired by Forsh, one away, and here's Bob Robertson. And that's a fly ball to right field. 2 away. And here is Gene Alley. Four and a 3. That is to the right fielder. And that is Jimmy Wynn. He is a 3. 3 and a 9. That should be okay. It is. That'd be an F2. Win is an E5. E5 and an 11. There is no 11, so nice running catch by Jimmy Wynn, and that will retire the side. Stretch time at the Astrodome. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back for its root. Root for your favorite team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. All right, bottom of the 7th. Wynn, Cedeno, and Watson due up. This will likely be Moose's last inning as he is due up first in the top of the 8th. Well, scheduled to be up first. That's a ground ball to the shortstop. That is Alley. He's a 3. 9 will be fine with nobody on. Yes. And Alley is an E25. Oh boy, this could be trouble. 25 and a 12. Nope, 13, but no 12. So Alley throws, and Robertson nicely digs it out, 1 away. Here's Cesar Cedeno, 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a run scored, and an RBI. And that's a weak chopper to second, and Cash retires Cedeno, 2 away. Here's Bob Watson, doubled his last time up. Okay. And here's Watson. 2 and a 6. And that's a 1 to 13 double chance. That's a single. And they're going to try to let him get past Edwards here. And if he can't, then we may have to do a double switch. Matic roll, nothing on the 9. Here's the pitch to Edwards. Oh, that's not the right column you want. Ballpark single, 1 to 13. That will fall in for a hit. First and second, 2 down, and let's see here. Bob Miller or Luke Walker. So you got Rader, Helms, in the pitcher spot. So you got righty. So I think we'll go with the righty. We're going to make a double switch. Actually, no, we won't. We're going to let Miller just face Raider, hopefully. And then we'll have maybe either pinch hitter or we'll let him hit. So Moose's day is done. He goes 6 2/3, gives up 4 earned runs. The 2 on, at least for now, the 2 on base are his responsibility. Miller will have to face Doug Raider. Havoc roll, although only counts as if it's a 2. Nothing on the 19. Here's Doug Raider, 1 for 3 with a single and a strikeout. And it wouldn't have mattered lefty or righty, at least with a righty, it's a split chance. 1-10, and this game is almost out of reach. That's a 14. So that will be a double. Actually, 3, 6. Yeah, that will be a double. Scoring from second is Watson. Edwards not being held on. 10 plus 1 is 11. 2 outs makes him a 13. That is assumed to go to center field with no arm. 1-13. They will send him. Here's the throw to the plate. And he is out. So we'll say 6-2 on the relay. Astros add 1. And now do you let Miller hit? No. Probably should have done double switch, but we will pinch hit for Bob Miller. He was in to do the job. He did give up a run, but no. So we will have a pinch hitter for Miller. Jose Pagan will actually no, we'll go with Rennie Stennett. Rennie Stennett will hit for Miller. And Force will face Stennett, retired 18 in a row. And here's a pitch to Stennett. 5 and a 7. I will retire Stennett. 1-13 double chance. 16, that's a single. Will that be all for Forsh? 27 batters. You're up by 3 runs. They're going to give him 1 more batter. If he gets on, then they will pull him. All right, here's Dave Cash. Nothing on the 10. And that's a base hit to left field. Let's see here. Stennett runs at a 12. Not being held on is a 13, but you give him -2 for going to left field on 1st to 3rd. 1-11. Well, Watson is a +2, so 1-13. Down 3 runs. You're not making the first out at third base, so he will hold. And that will be it for Ken Forsh. Lefty. We're actually going to bring in Wade Blasingame, and I'm going to have to call timeout here because I do not have a physical card for him, so I have to pull him up on the Strat Max. Hold on. Timeout. All right, if you want to pause the video, there's the card for Blasingame, and we'll be right back with the action. All right, Blasingame may just be in to face Oliver, the lefty. They have Tom Griffin loosening in the bullpen. And here's the Havoc roll first. Nothing on the 12. Good, because Blasingame's a wild pitch at 20. And here's a pitch to Oliver. Lefty-lefty matchup. 5 and a 4 against the lefty. Catcher chance. Oh boy, Edwards is a 4. 4 and a 2. Oh boy. This is one of those good old WS chances. WG. So, let's see if there's an error. Because if there's not an error, then nobody gets on, but everybody moves up. Edwards is a 2 and a 14. There is no 14, but on a WG with runners on base, pitcher uncorks a wild pitch, and everybody moves up a base. Second and third. And the at-bat continues. So Oliver gets some life here. Oops. 6 and a 4. And against the lefty, that's a fly ball to shallow right field. Racing in his win, he will make the catch, and everybody holds. And that will be it for Blasting Game. He came in, got his one batter. And we will go with Tom Griffin. Try to get the final out here in the top of the 8th. And he will face Clemente, who is 0 for 3. Nothing on the 18, but does have an RBI. And that ball is driven deep to left field. 1-3, and the Pirates will tie the game. No. And that's just a fly out the left field, and that will retire this. No, actually, hold on. No, that's just a second here. Stennett singled. Cash singled. Wild pitch moves into second and third. So that was 1 out. Sorry. And then that's a fly ball to left field. But that will score Stennett from third. And everybody else stays. So the Pirates do get a run closer. Clemente, 2 RBIs without the advent of a hit. As Stennett scores from third. And it is 5-3. Here's Willie Stargell. Nothing on the 8. And swung on and missed, struck him out, and now the side is retired. They get a run closer. 5-3 now. And we need a pitcher for the Luke Walker will come into the game and possibly finish this out. We'll see. Okay, so Walker will face... They're going to let Griffin pitch or hit. Actually, he's pitcher hitting card number 8, so yeah, we will let him hit. All right, so it is Helms, the pitcher's spot. Griffin, and Metzger. Face Luke Walker. Helms is one for 3 with a single and reached on a fielder's choice. 5-8, second base chance. That's cash. He's a 2. 15 is fine. And here's the $12 on a E8 should be fine. And it is. So cash with 1 second baseman retires another. And here is Griffin. Pitcher hitting card number 8. So he must have probably had a few at-bats and got hits in all of them, so, or a majority of them. He's also rated as a starter, so he could have been a very good hitter. 2 and an 8, and that's a base hit for Walker. Or not for Walker, for Griffin. Make sure that he doesn't have any extra speed here. He does not, so he'll run at a 10. Here's Roger Metzger, not holding on the runner. Nothing on the 13. Not expecting a bunt here. He won't lay one down. And that's a fly ball to left field. Oops. 1-5 with the lefty. Yeah, fly ball to left field. And here's Jimmy Stewart. Normally, if this was a closer game, I'd think about pinch hitting for him, but we will let him stay on. It's 2 outs. And here's a pitch to Stewart. And that's a center field chance for Oliver. He is a 3. 15 will be fine. Oliver is an E6. And a 7. There is no 7. So Oliver retires Stewart. And we go to the 9th. 5-3, the Astros lead. And it will be Hebner, Sanguian, and Robertson. And here's Hebner to face Griffin. Three and a 7 field goal roll there. Ground ball to first. And Stewart beats Hebner to the base, 1 away. There's Manny Sanguian. 1 and a 4. Ballpark single. 1-16. Yep. So 1 out single for Manny Sanguian. And their closer, Fred Gladding, is loosening in the bullpen. And Sanguian runs at a 14. I'm not pinch running for him. Here's Bob Robertson. Nothing on the 13. Six and an 11. And that's a ground ball to third. And Raider to Helms to Stewart. And that's your ball game. Game-ending double play. And the Astros win this one 5-3. I'll be right back with the line score right after this. All right, 5 runs, 14 hits, 1 error for the Astros. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Pirates. Clemente did drive in 2 of the 3, but did not get a hit in doing so. So he has 326 plate appearances and 78 more games in which to do it. All right, everybody, thank you for watching. Please leave a like, and if you care to do so, leave a comment on the video. Thank you all for watching. The responses have been really great. I'm glad you guys are enjoying this. If you're not already watching and have not already subscribed, click the subscribe button, hit the bell icon to be notified of any new videos, and also leave a like. It helps the video to be seen. And whatever game you are playing, please enjoy it to your fullest. Have a good day, everybody.